So behind me, you're gonna see the table that I have. Today, we're gonna talk about some of those things, like where's my finger? Right there. So this big Crown XLT 2500, that big amp is what runs my Cymatics setup. Um, so it is a 1500 watt amp. It is a full 1500 watt amp. But do you need it? Yes. If you only have 100 watts, you're going to be frequency limited to about 200 hertz. You can push it more, but distortion, these Crown D75s, they're about 100 watts a channel, but they're also 50 years old. So you can certainly do cymatics with less, certainly do it with more. One of the things that I've been wanting to do as a sound professional, working with big line array systems and the L Acoustic line of products, is I worked at a rental house and we had upwards of 50 18-inch subwoofers and the amps to run them and the power distribution to get them all blasting at full volume. That's something I want to try. But that's something that you could literally have like a whole swimming pool and have that whole thing shaking at a few hertz. In fact, researchers have tried to use acoustic devices in that manner to do wave research. One of the things that they ran into, though, was in order to get the amount of energy into the water, you just need huge amounts of low frequency, and linear motors like speakers like this one, or there's a few off frame, there's one here, there's another behind my head. All of those are linear motors. They go back and forth at a predictable frequency and a predictable distance based upon the voltage applied to them. But they don't do a very good job at coupling to really heavy things or really fast things. So there is an impedance curve to cymatics with everything. I don't have a fancy graph to show like, hey, you can get 240 hertz out of your speaker if you have this many watts and it's this big and you have this much water in it and it's this temperature, and are you smiling? It helps. But yeah, any amplifier will work. You could even jump up on the bed and do it. Although I wouldn't recommend that, because the frequency is going to vary a lot and it's not going to be very repeatable. But any man's judge. So we're good on the amplifiers. This whole stack, minus the oscilloscope that's doing things that aren't what they're supposed to be. It's supposed to have a line that goes across in roll mode, but it's not rolling right. Some of you, the musicians in the room, may know what this device is right here. It's a Behringer X32. So some of you may ask, well, that's a digital mixer. Isn't that going to have problems with like low frequencies or high frequencies? Where's the cutoff at? Well, with this device right here, I measured that. You can comfortably get down to 1 hertz with less than 12 dB of cutoff, but as soon as you go over 22,000, it cuts off like a rock, which is unfortunate because I want 25,000. That's why we have these puppies right here. And well, these Crown amps are good. In the manual it says up to 55 cat for use with transducers and ultrasonic cleaners, although they recommended to find a bistable system versus just having like a tone generator hooked up to that for cost. But in my case, having the convenience of having a big amp that will do 20 kilohertz all day, or your phone won't do 20 kilohertz. A good audio device with a good set of tweeters will easily be able to do it. And the only reason why this cuts out so low is because it's not woo-woo fancy audio gear. It's actually 2 kilohertz above spec, or right on spec. Personally, with all the frequency shit I've looked at, there's a valid reason to extend the acoustic frequency spectrum up to 30 or even 50 kilohertz. It's a very subtle thing, and it's not something that most people perceive. Like, if you just start playing 20 kilohertz, I mean, a few kids are gonna be like, I hear it. Start playing 30, a couple magical kids are like, something on, my ears are ringing, I don't know what it is. And you'll have people come into the room and you start doing that high frequency stuff. With dog whistle stuff, a thought just came into my head of the worst thing in the world for frequency-based medicine. So the piezoelectric bug deterrence, basically the thing that you plug in the wall that has a little like speaker grill in front of it, has a little light on the front of it, and it shows you, yeah, there's no bugs. But what that actually just is a noise generator that puts high frequency noise out in a very not good way. And when a bug hears that, it's like, hey, that's uncomfortable, let's not go over there. And you ask, well, why do bugs hear it, not us? We're bigger, we hear lower. Simple as that. So you guys are asking, why does he have $10,000 worth of gear and wants to tell everyone you can do it with $2 in gear? Because it's fun. And if you record it with a video and post it on the internet, an AI can pretty well decipher what you did and maybe use it as research. That's a emerging phenomenon. I think in this case it's so fucking niche that it's not going to be a thing for at least 7 years. But I mean, they've already scraped the entire internet. Just look at what ChatGPT did. They scraped it. Man, what the internet will do to some people. What else do we need to talk about in the video? So there's been so many of you that have recently come to the channel, and I thank you all. The support has been fantastic. And all I can really say is like and subscribe, go outside, do some cymatics, have a good day, and go kiss your mother. Just do it. You have to be there in person to do it. You have to say hi. Unless you're just gonna run up to your mother and just like smack her on the cheek with a giant kiss. You should go do it. It's not like a homo thing. It's not a lesbian thing. It's your mother. Go fucking kiss her. Have a good day.